David, thank you for joining me. And we spoke before off camera about a relationship that you kind of had, that didn't have, and it started, and there's something that's in it. Like you heard something in this girl, and you'd like to share potentially a future with her, and you were umming and ahhing like what's going on. But what I'd love to hear is like what initially attracted you to this girl, and then how did that first phase of that point in the relationship end?
So, what first attracted me was like the spontaneity of it, I'd say. It was very random, very like, boom, like she added me on Facebook, and then like within a week we ended up hanging out. Just chatted a little bit, and yeah, we ended up hanging out, going to a national park, which is really nice. Went for a little walk, and yeah, and then how it ended. So it was after a couple dates and sort of after all the investigations, found out she had a boyfriend. So she was cheating on me, cheating on cheating on her boyfriend with me, which kind of made me feel like dirty.
Hmm.
So that's not really cool. And
What
it
I
ended
admired
by
about your conversation was that you actually spoke to the boyfriend. So talk a little bit more about that.
okay. So like when I found out, I like asked her like, hey, this is what I said before, but yeah, I asked her, hey, would I be able to wait? I asked her like, hey, do you have a boyfriend? I wanted to get some clarity there, and she was like, no and stuff, and I was like, well, what about this guy? Like, if I asked him, is he your boyfriend? What would he say? She was like, oh, don't do that. You don't need to do that. You can just trust me and stuff. And I sort of went for it for about a week, and then after that, I was like, nah, this is pretty fishy, eh? So I and actually, we had a lot of conversations around like how long they were together for, what the relationship was like. She was saying it was toxic, this and that, and I'm like, yeah, that sucks, whatever. And then what happened? She was like changing the times of how long she's had a break since the last relationship and stuff. It would be from, oh, it was 3 months ago, to, oh, it was 1 month ago, oh, it was 2 weeks ago I broke up with him. Oh, and then I found out actually you guys are still together. So then I ended up messaging him, going like, hey, do you and Chloe go out? Are you guys boyfriend and girlfriend? He goes, yeah, that's my girlfriend. And I was like, oh, well, bro, I just want to let you know, man. I went on a couple of dates with her, and like, yeah, I have no intention of like being rude to you or anything. It's just like just what I would want someone to do for me if I was in that situation. Like the woman's sort of trying to pull the wool over my eyes or something like that. I would want there to be some honest people in the situation. And she was like trying to play the victim at points and stuff like that. And I'm like, nah, I'm not having it. And then she ended up blocking me. And yeah, that was how it ended. That was how the
Yeah,
first
great.
sort of bit
Cool.
ended.
Yeah, and so you mentioned that she blocked you, and then something rekindled. So there was a moment like she messaged you recently, or yeah, talk about that now.
Yeah, so that was like a year and a half ago. And hmm, then literally last night at like 11:30 or like midnight or something like that, like pretty late at night. I was in Armidale. I was having a big drink, having a big party on the dance floor, just having a good old time. And I was waiting in line, and I was actually talking to this girl in the line next to me. We were just having a cool little chat, and then I got this message, and I was like, "What?" And it was like this huge message. It's almost like it did take her a year to write, so that's why it took so long for her to message me. No, that's just I'm just messing around. But she she just sent this huge message out of nowhere. Like, I haven't even talked to this girl, or even I don't even know what she looks like. Well, I know what she looks like, but I wouldn't, if I saw her in the street, I probably wouldn't even like second guess. Um, so yeah, I read that and I was like, oh, true. And she was like really vulnerable and like admitted to just like lying and cheating and all that. So, and she was like, she had no intention on the way that she sent it to be like a romantic thing. It was literally just that she really likes me as a person and thinks I'm a really beautiful person. That's what she wrote in it. And she said, I'd love to have you as a friend in my life. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. Like, yeah. So I'd love to yeah, pursue that, whether it becomes a relationship, like a romantic one, or just is limited to being two cool people just hanging out.
Mm. Yeah, what about that was attractive for you when she sent that message? Like, oh wow, there's something that's in this.
Oh, I'd give like three reasons for this, right? So the first reason is I actually find her extremely attractive. I think she's a very attractive person, and I like where she's at head wise. I think she might be a little bit too airy fairy, but other than that, I'm not too fussed. I think she's a beautiful, beautiful person. Then um, another point, another reason why I really liked it was I thought about her about 3 days ago for no reason. Like I was just driving. I've been on the road for the last 2 weeks, and I just thought about her, and I was just like, "Oh, yeah, I wonder what she's up to. You know, I hope she's doing all right." You know, I didn't send her a message, nothing like that. It was just literally just thought about her, and then yeah, I think that kind of was the main thing, and also her vulnerability, like her speaking her truth there, and admitting to like some shadowy components of herself.
Mm.
So it was like those three things in combination all came together. And now I'm talking to you.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, so in those three things, like, so she sent you the message, and you were thinking about her, and um, what else in that? Like, what does that speak to you as a man? Like, what about as a man? How does that speak to you?
Uh, I don't know. It feels kind of cool to like when a woman reaches out to you. It feels nice to be like wanted or needed in a way, you know. So I feel like to a degree that's kind of how I'm how she perceives me, or at least that's sort of the vibe that I get is like a feeling of being wanted, you know.
Yeah,
It's very nice
I hear that, bro. In
and
that,
appreciated.
yeah, appreciate. And in that message that she sent you, what's something that really stood out to you in the message that was specifically for you?
Yeah, it was when she was like, you are so beautiful," or something like that. You are very, very. It was like the repetition of this word before beautiful, talking about me, which was like really nice. And she was like, "I'm sure you're living a really good life and taking bull by the horn, taking the like life by its horns or something like that." But it was mainly that bit where she was like appreciating me for my value, you know.
Mm.
So that's really nice.
And have you had that experience before from someone?
Yeah, literally like 4 days ago. I was hanging out with this girl in Deepwater, and she was like, she really brought out this real authentic version of myself, where she was just giving me so much love, where I was just like, damn, like I feel like I can be me, you know, and I'll be loved for who I am. And then that made me automatically like love her unconditionally too.
Mm.
So
If you could frame
yeah.
that in a masculine and feminine framework, what would you say that is?
Like balance, I guess. I don't know.
Like, what was
I
it
don't know what you
about
mean.
them that gave you permission to be?
Oh, about like a woman. Okay, so like I guess we were pretty open with I don't know. I actually don't know enough about I wouldn't know how to like put it, but we were very open with conversation and stuff like that, and very open to explore each other's desires and stuff like that. So that was really cool to have this safe space where I guess I'd be able to be feminine in a way and be like, oh, I wouldn't mind if you like licked my nipple, you know? I don't know if that's feminine or not, but I would say that's kind of like a feminine thing. And I've never had a woman do that. So she did it. That was kind of cool. That was really nice actually. And then she bit my nipple. I was like, what the fuck? Where did that come from? And I just laughed my ass off for like 10 minutes straight, just like so in shock that this chick just bit my nipple. And she was just like laughing too. It was a very interesting time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like, yeah, it brings joy. It brings that balance of like masculine, feminine, and a balance within myself. And also, like she's able to do things that she might not otherwise do same way, like balancing.
It sounds like you want some more of that in your life. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, great one. Dave, it's been unreal chatting with you, bro. That's all the questions that I have to ask for you, ask you. So again, I'm going to stop record here and then we can wrap up the conversation offline. How's that sound?